Welcome to Philanthropy SA. This is a podcast about and for the philanthropic community in San Antonio and South Texas. We introduce organizations and people who are making an impact in the community. Beneficent Financial is proud to sponsor this podcast, and it is our hope that you enjoy this conversation about the impact we can have. The goal is to edify and inspire. Now please join our host, Dan Rebman.
Welcome to Philanthropy SA. I'm your host, Dan Rebman, and very pleased to be joined today by Kelley Frost. Kelley is the current president of the San Antonio Rotary Club, or Downtown Rotary Club, or
Rotary Club of San Antonio. Rotary Club of San Antonio.
I am not even going to start a fight with other Rotarians.
No, all roads in our region actually lead to our club. We actually kind of sponsored and branched out nearly every club in our region.
Gotcha. Okay. So the mothership.
We are the mothership.
Outstanding. So we're going to talk about Rotary and all the great stuff going on there, because you guys have so many great things that you do for the city. But before we get into that, a little bit about you and kind of so you were not native to San Antonio and, you know, like me, came from the Midwest. And in the interest of fair disclosure, just found out that Kelley and I actually both grew up in Kansas City. So before we got to Texas and all that. So but talk about San Antonio a little bit and kind of why you decided to stick around in San Antonio. Is it just because you hate winter that much? Because you got to miss fall.
That is a part of it. I do miss fall, but not winter.
Right,
I'm definitely not a fan of snow. Like the beach. Don't like and I know we don't have a beach, but anyway, we have nice warm weather. So I'm into warm weather. I do miss the fall days and the beautiful leaves and those kinds of things. But inevitably that leads to winter, which is long and hard. So I'm not a fan. Moved to San Antonio after college. Moved to Texas. I am one of those people that I may not have been born here, but I got here as fast as I can.
Amen.
So as long as I've been here, now I feel native. But, you know, my children have been born and raised Texan, and my husband's a native Texan. So I think I'm going to claim it and pretend it's mine.
Absolutely.
Although I got my Midwestern roots that are still implanted deep in me, which I think Midwesterners are service-oriented. Maybe that's a part of the upbringing in the Midwest is an inspiration. My first gig in doing any volunteer work was a candy striper at Shawnee Mission Hospital.
There you go.
You would know that place.
I do know Shawnee Mission Hospital. So you've obviously done a lot in terms of various service components, and then as president of the Rotary Club here, doing a lot, you know, through that. So kind of what is it? Is it just those Midwestern roots, or what is it that makes you say, I want to get more involved and I want to make a difference in the world?
So those are two different things. I'll start with my Rotary roots, which is an interesting thing. My husband was president of our Rotary Club 21 years ago. His dad was president in 1968. And one time I helped him a good deal when he was president, helped him create his theme, create some things. And then several years ago, he said, you know, Rotary asked if you had asked your spouse if they were interested in joining. Would you ever be interested in being a member? And I said, I thought you would never ask. Actually, I think that I would love to be a member of Rotary. And I've always admired what the Rotary Club does and what they stand for. And it's in alignment with my own core values. So I was very excited to get to be a member and be a part of the Rotary Club and the tradition that was set there by my husband and his family and others, and had a lot of friends in the club. So I felt like it was a natural fit. I'm glad to get to be in leadership.
And so talk about those core values of Rotary. Talk about what Rotary does and what the goal is, and why do these folks, you know, come together and do this.
And do what they do. Rotary's mission is service above self. And so everything is oriented toward what can we do to make the world a better place. Rotary International sets forth the guidelines of 7 different focus areas that are areas where we can engage. We can engage beyond those, but that's kind of an emphasis for Rotary International. What's unique about our club is that we are Club 52 out of 40,000 worldwide.
Wow.
So we were founded in 1912. So we are really early birds. In Rotary itself started you're going to get me on that quote trivia, about 5 years before us to think about. Anyway, we were founded in 1912, and that was the first year that Rotary went international. But we were one of the early clubs in Texas, and we have been an essential part of just Rotary International for a very long time. 113 years. Is that right? Yeah, 113 years.
113 years. Yeah,
celebrating November 1st.
Very good. Big party.
Big party. We are going to have a birthday party.
As you should. As you should. So talk about some of the things that the local club does. I mean, there are certainly national things that Rotary participates in, and international things, as you mentioned, international. So, but what are kind of the things that the local club participates in that are, some of the things that people may or may not even be aware that you all do around the city?
One of our signature projects is Kingdom for Kids. We actually had a panel discussion today with 3 of our recipient nonprofit organizations, and those were SAISD, where we've built 10 playgrounds, the Girls Inc., and CASA. And we have done a lot of work in partnering with different agencies where we can build playgrounds that engage children, give them an opportunity to let off some steam. We live in a stressful world right now, so we need to be able to give children outlets and opportunities for them to actually engage and play like children. But it also gives them opportunities to engage with some of the individuals who are their mentors or caregivers or teachers, and we're just out there doing some things. So we'll build our 30th playground with the YWCA. We've been granted some generous grants through the Harvey Najum Foundation, which has been instrumental in 22 of our playgrounds. And so that's one of our main signature projects. Rick Cavender started it in 1997, and we continue to build these fabulous playgrounds, and they're really imagination areas. There were little stages and library, outdoor reading spaces beyond just a learning environment in addition to a play environment. So those are fun. We've got a playground build in November 14th and 15th. This afternoon, I'm going to go haul trash with River Aid San Antonio. That's a new partnership with us where we're cleaning up waterways. So we'll be down in the Almas Basin and we'll be picking up trash. Last month, we hauled 1 ton of trash. They actually weigh our trash. So we'll have another weigh-in today. We're hoping for 1.5 tons this time. So we are picking up trash. We have a lot of what we do is partner with other organizations. Why reinvent the wheel when we can do things that we can leverage our resources? We have people who can go out and do things. We have Snack Pack for Kids, for instance. Every week we've got 2 teams that go to 2 schools and engage with the schools and get snack packs out to kids who are in need of extra food over their weekends. So we've got some great partnerships. A lot of what we do is things that we can do to help our local nonprofit community.
Mm-hmm. No, collaboration is definitely one of the things that creates, I think, the most synergy within the nonprofit space. Absolutely. Is when organizations can work together to accomplish something. So on the playgrounds, the whole time you're talking about playgrounds, I have to admit, I'm wanting to know what happened to the merry-go-round. Remember the merry-go-round?
Man, you're so right. Merry-go-rounds were
the best.
They were.
And they're gone. And I mean, yeah, sure, they may have killed a couple people.
Yeah, but maimed you when you were getting your foot caught underneath.
Merry-go-rounds. That's
there were a lot of,
but I digress.
Yeah. You must have lived near Olathe. And Olathe, I worked as a playground supervisor for the Olathe Parks and Recreation one summer. So maybe that's my playground roots.
We had one at the school.
Yeah.
Our school playground had one. It was not. Yeah, no, that and tetherball.
These are fancy playgrounds.
I was a tetherball champ, but that's, there's no professional tetherball league yet.
Let me tell you, these are next gen playgrounds.
They're very cool. They're very cool. And you all don't just okay, we're going to pay for a playground and hire some
No, it's sweat equity. It's sweat equity. We do 2 days to do a build. We do a lot of work, obviously previous to it. We do landscaping. So Friday is our heavy lifting day. We get people out there that really can, swing a hammer and, use the appropriate big equipment. We haul in big pieces of equipment. Saturday is kind of softscaping, which is landscaping, painting, backdrops. I love to paint. So we've got artists that create these incredible murals, and then we paint these backdrops. So we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
It's a great project.
No, it's a great project. And then snack packs, you talked about that, and I know a little bit about that because my associate Brisa is she does, a little bit of all the projects, but snack pack is one of her favorite. In fact, she was just doing a snack pack the other day. So in terms of going and doing that. But when you look at like snack pack, for example, this is something that y'all are coming in, and I think is that in coordination with the food bank or?
No, Snack Pack for Kids is a separate entity. We do volunteer with the food bank frequently. That's one of our typical volunteer projects is to work with the food bank. But Snack Pack for Kids is an entity founded by Leslie Kingman a few years back, and she learned about it from another someplace up in the Panhandle. And it was to be able to extend a little bit of extra sustenance for food insecure kids. And we have a real problem with food insecurity in our community. Mm-hmm. And so children that go home on the weekends after they've been at school and they've had meals provided to them, breakfast and lunch by our schools. On the weekends, they have a bit of a time lapse where they don't have maybe the access to nutritious foods. And so snack packs are provided to them to give them an opportunity to have some control over their food over the weekend, just an ability to have some extra sustenance when they're not at school and not being fed by their schools.
Gotcha. And what other types of kind of one-off projects do you all like to do or?
We've got a fun one that we've got a collaboration with an organization called Light the World that is doing a giving machine in the Pearl for the holiday season. They named 5 different charities, and we were fortunate enough to be one of the ones that gets to participate along with Haven for Hope, the Food Bank, Soldiers, Angels, and Team Ability. So those organizations will have a giving machine in the Pearl that actually has different opportunities for people to identify ways that they can support these organizations. Our 5 gifts in the giving machine will be one is toward playground equipment. One is toward scholarships, which we do give scholarships. One is toward the river projects that we're doing, the cleanup and clean the waterways, maintain the environment. We can't maintain the government. Let's try to maintain the environment.
They're shut down as we record this.
That's anyway, right. So and we have holiday gifts that we collect for different entities for children who may not get gifts for this holiday season. And polio shots, which is an international effort by Rotary International, is working really hard to eradicate polio worldwide. Mm. And so that is, that's a part of our Light the World. It's at the Pearl, November 17th through December 7th. One of the things that's interesting about that program is their desire is to get kids engaged in giving. And so if they can go there and select different gifts and say, hey, I want to be a part of this playground, it gives kids that opportunity to give to others during the holidays. So they're not all about just what they're getting.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and it's there's a number of ways to do that in terms of getting kids involved. But I think the sooner you can kind of help that next generation realize that, there's an opportunity here to be generous and to do those kinds of things that will make the future world a better place. For sure.
You will see Rotarians kids at many of our volunteer projects, and it is a way of reinforcing to the next generation to let them know, hey, this is a part of who you are. If to whom much is given, much is expected. So that's a way of giving back.
Absolutely. So if someone's interested in getting involved with Rotary, if they're hearing about all these great things and they're saying, wow, that sounds like an organization I want to be a part of, what should they do?
They should go to our website and orient themselves to some of the things that we have going on. But there is a special part of the RotarySA.org, so www.rotarysa.org website that has, if you're interested in joining. And it's got some information on how to get involved and how to engage and join. I think one of the best ways to get involved is to come to a meeting, learn a little bit, volunteer for a service project. If you know a Rotarian, you can certainly ask them about it and ask them about their experience. Word of mouth is probably the best way that we inform people about what we're doing, and hopefully people are engaged by other members.
And then if someone is part of an organization that would benefit you from a collaboration or some of the things like you're doing with those, same thing, go to the website, or is there a way for those folks to reach out?
I think the website is a great starting point. We certainly, if you follow us on social media and you can, DM us, I think on the website there's a link to some of our leadership to be able to feel certain about that. Send an email and an inquiry, but I think that we're always looking for opportunities. What are some things that are happening in the community when people bring them to us? The River Aid Project came to us from one of our members being at a social gathering, talking to someone about that project. And the guy happened to say, "Oh, I've got this new organization that cleans up the waterways," and sold him on it. And now we're engaged.
Now you're picking up a ton and a half of trash.
We're picking up I'm telling you, it is hot and hard work. Last time we did it, I hurt in places I did not know could hurt.
There you go. There you go. So when we talk about the great things going on with Rotary, and there's other organizations, other service organizations and that type of thing that do this, but like we've seen in other things, as these trends existed pre-COVID. They may have been exacerbated by COVID, but we've definitely seen less participation in service organizations. And as we spoke before we started recording, I was in an Optimist Club that had to shut down, and or Kiwanis or Lions. There's a number of different great service organizations out there. And what is it that you think is kind of contributing to this? And is there anything that can be done to kind of quell that? Obviously your club is still big and strong, but that's not true of all these, service clubs.
And our club is not immune to the struggles that others have had. So it is a trend. Interestingly, Rotary itself, if you look at the membership patterns and trends, is growing internationally, growing much quicker in countries like India, in Asia, and in Africa, and the membership declines are most significant in the United States, Canada, and Europe. So some of our patterns aren't necessarily being replicated. And I would love to know what it is that is creating a little bit more of a upsurge in other parts of the world, and our parts of the world are experiencing some declines. I think our club has a unique and interesting component to it that we have involved and your colleague is a part of it, a part of our Rotary Young Leaders group. And that Young Leaders group is comprised of people who are new professionals entering into maybe their service opportunities or just beginning and starting on the path of working with nonprofits and engaging in the community. So we have about a third of our membership now under the age of 45, which is counter to what most clubs. If you look at most clubs, most of the clubs are a lot older, and quite frankly, some of the members are retiring or leaving our earth. So at any rate, we have a really balanced membership between a young group, a middle group, and an older group, which creates a great diversity and I think a sustainability to some extent. But we're getting asked by other Rotary clubs around the country, how is it that you've been able to develop this younger cohort? What is it about them? And actually, the younger cohort is very interested in giving back. The generation that falls behind me tends to be a little bit more making a difference minded, wanting to do things to give back and engage. So I think we're just capitalizing on some of the seeds that are already there.
And what have you been doing to attract those folks to that the younger folks to that organization?
One is with that cohort, we create sort of a group-like environment. And I think it's important today when people are working from home and not necessarily having the interface with their office and their team environment, that they get to be engaged in a team. So as we start our cohort, they get to go through the year together. They get to do a lot of different projects that are just uniquely programmed toward them. They have their own socials, but yet they get to get involved and be a part of the regular club meetings, and any of our service projects are open to all members. But as they engage as a group, it gives them a bond and an opportunity to be in fellowship with some like-minded individuals. So I think we've been able to capitalize on that as an opportunity.
That's great. And keeping that, younger folks coming into any organization is what gives it that kind of next generation and the ability to carry on in that regard. So in terms of, if you want to take a step back and look at Rotary big picture or, something like that, what's kind of the direction that you anticipate that it's going to be going down the road in terms of, is it going to be, more and more centralized kind of things where Rotary International is going to say, hey, we want you to do this, we want you to do that? Or do you think you'll still have the ability to set the agenda and everything at the club level?
I think Rotary International is a fantastic resource for us. So as a leader of the club, I'm able to engage with other club presidents around the country. We have a lot of conferences, like we'll have a large club conference or we'll have a Texas region conference. So you've got an opportunity to exchange ideas. None of us are in competition with one another, which is a really nice opportunity. There's an open flow of, oh, we tried this worked. I will get ideas from other club presidents on how they've done, what they've done to attract members, what they've done to expand their service opportunities. So we have a real great opportunity to network with International, but we are completely autonomous. They don't really dictate anything to us in terms of what types of service projects that we want to engage with. So we get to be calling the shots, so to speak, from what we want to involve in our community, and yet we gain all these resources. We have an incredible international interface with what we do. We've set something up. We actually just got awarded a service award in Ireland as one of the signature service projects or the signature programs in Ireland, and it's our peace project. It's our Seeds of Hope peace project. We did it in coordination with the Rotaries in Belfast, in Dublin, and in The Hague, Netherlands. And we have a 2-week intensive in Northern Ireland, Corrymeela. And this year we sent 25 San Antonio college students to the 2-week peace intensive. We now have a curriculum that's in University of Texas, San Antonio, Trinity, and Northwest Vista. And it is an all-year curriculum with the Nurturing Hope, Seeds of Hope Peace Project. We've had incredible engagement with students on the concepts of what can we do to make a more peaceful world. And so our international engagement, I think, makes us unique compared to service clubs. I think the international is an enhancement. We have an amazing partnership with a Rotary Club in Ukraine, Rotary Club Ukraine Unity. And we have a driving force in our club, JC Clapsaddle. If you listen to this, you get the call out. He is a driving force in going over to Ukraine and helping deliver humanitarian aid, from the transportation needs to the water purification to he's going to take Christmas gifts for kids over there that are not going to get a lot of Christmas during a Ukrainian war. So we have some amazing things that go beyond the borders of San Antonio, and that's an exciting thing.
That is. No, that's great to hear. So what do you want to talk about, or what did I not ask you that you wanted to make sure that we covered today?
Wow, I feel like we covered so many areas.
You did.
I think that
You represented Rotary well.
Thank you for saying that. I think that Rotary has an opportunity to be a conduit of peace, a conduit of making a difference, and really leveraging assets that we have from both the talents that we have within our organization. I'm constantly amazed whenever I get to have involvement with our membership and the things that people bring to the table. We just have such exciting things that are going on. It really is hard to encapsulate it in such a short time frame. But what I would say is if someone does have that service mindset of service above self, I can't think of a better place to plant themselves than to be a part of Rotary.
And so one more time, tell them what the website is if they want to find out more.
Website is www.rotarysa.org. Follow us on social media, Rotary Club of San Antonio, and you'll get to see all the exciting things that we have going on.
Get to see everything, and then all the LinkedIn posts that everybody does.
There you go.
That's part of it too.
It's a deal.
Okay. Well, I just want to thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure to learn about Rotary Club of San Antonio and the stuff that's going on there. And I hope that folks that are looking for a place to put some excess energy will reach out. Too late to pick up stuff today, but that won't be the last opportunity. And I'm sure next time it'll be 2 tons of trash that you're trying to get, not just 1.5.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm absolutely delighted that you allowed me to get to share the story. And I'm actually very delighted that you're doing this because I think it's an important thing to get the word out and what's going on in our community.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Well, you are more than welcome. Both of my listeners, hi, Mom, are glad to get it. So.
I'll add mine to it then,
there we go. Yes. Like and subscribe. I never say that, do I? I should say that more. Like and subscribe. I think that's required when you do this. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. I like it. It's a good line.
So on behalf of Philanthropy SA, this is Dan Redmond reminding you to do well so you can do good.
Thank you for joining us at Philanthropy SA. We hope you found something to inspire you during today's conversation. If you know organizations and people who are making an impact in the community, we would love to hear about it. Until next time, do well so you can do good.